Fine. Today in this session, we will learn about the reactive forms. In the previous session, we have learned about the template forms, right? We have completed this one. Now we will learn about the template forms. One second. So we will learn about the reactive driven forms. So template driven forms, we have seen that the entire the coding and the logic, the forms handling will be done from the template side end. Now reactive forms is a different thing which we will be handling from the TypeScript side end. So let's try to design a reactive form. Now here I am creating a component ngGC reactive forms. Okay, this is a component. Let it create. Let's go to the app routing, and here I will try to create reactive form, and here I will write reactive forms component. We need to inject the reactive forms component, whether it is created or not. We need to check it. So let's go and check. Okay, it has been created. Let's try to check. Yeah, reactive forms component. Let's import this reactive forms component and go to the navigation. Where is our navigation? Yeah, and here is our HTML. Let's create this navigation. One second, let me zoom my screen so that you'll be able to see the fonts very easily. So here right now we are on the navigation, right? Let's go to this HTML, and here I am writing reactive form. Use reactive form. So just we have added a link to this one. Here if you try to see, so this is our reactive form. Now here let's try to design a simple form in order to add the reactiveness. Let's go to this one. Okay, let's go to this one. Now if I go reactive form, where is this reactive form? Let's close these all things. Reactive form. Yeah, here these are reactive forms. Let's have open this TS file and HTML file. Yeah, we will have a form. In this one we will have my-3 and label, name, same small form I will try to design. Input, class is equal to form control, and again we'll have an my3 dot my3, and in this one also we'll have a label, email, and input. Hey, where gone input? Yeah, input, and this one is also a class form control. So this is our simple form, and here we'll have an my3, and in this one I'm having a button, class is equal to btn hyphen primary. You can also keep type is equal to submit anything. So this is our simple form. So up to here, you know, all of them know. So now this is our form which we have designed it. Let's try to see. This is our form. So we haven't written anything. So it is not a template driven form or a reactive driven form. So in order to have a template driven form, what you will try to do, you will try to add an ng model and a name for each of these things, and you will take a template reference here, and you will try to do the on submit and all those things. Now in order to create a template reactive driven form, so there is nothing we need to do from the template end. We need to go to the React TypeScript file. Okay, so let's say that this is a sign up form. So let's create a sign up form. Okay, now this one, it is of type form group. So it is of type form group. So now form group is nothing but this entire thing. So this is a form group. Okay, now we are trying to create a variable sign up form which is of type form group, and this one we need to create a form group. So form group means you will be creating new form group. Okay, new form group, or otherwise if you want you can also mention it in the ng or init, also not a problem. So now new form group should be imported from the Angular forms. And in order to use this form group and all those things, what you need to do is, let's go to the app.module.ts. You need to import a new one, that is nothing but reactive forms module, not reactive forms component, reactive forms module. So whenever you are using the reactive forms in your project or in your application, you need to import reactive forms module. Whenever you are using the template driven forms, ng model, these things, all things, then you need to inject forms module. So reactive forms module is a different module. When you are trying to use this reactive forms, must and should, you need to import that one. So now you have used this, you have created a new form group, and in this one, so let's try to create an object. Okay, so new form group takes an object, and in this object you will be having a first one. What is the controls we are having? The first control is the name control you are having. So let's create a name, and this is a new form control. So that is a form control, and the default value I am arranging for this one is empty. Okay, I will try to show you. And another one is an email. So I am creating a new form control. That's it, empty. That's it. So whatever the form control elements you are having, so you need to group those things, form group, and you need to send as an object, and each one you will be having name and email as a form control. Now here, so this is one form control and this is one form control. That is the reason Bootstrap has also given a name as a form control. So these are, we have also discussed about that one form control elements like that in HTML. When we are trying to input form control like that, we have discussed it. So these are all form controls. So now here also we have created form control and form control. Now somehow we need to attach this sign up form to this form element. Okay, for this one, what we will try to do is, let's try to, yeah, here you need to have a property binding, that is nothing but a form group. Okay, here you will be able to see form group. Oh sorry, don't write like this, form group. Okay, you will have a form group like this. So form group, the name of the form group which we want to assign. So here we have a form group of sign up form variable. So attach this sign up form to this one. That's it. Now this form is binded to this variable. This variable is binded to this form. Now you need to tell what are the, to which form controls I want, to which form controls this name belongs to which form control this email belongs to, you need to tell. So here this relates to the form control name, to the name. So this name is nothing but here this name. So this one is attached to this one, and now here this one is form control name. So each one will have form control name, and this one is an email. So that's it, finish. So now you can submit. So on submit, or otherwise you can write something like on ng submit. You can take on submit. Okay, so now when I try to submit this form, let's go into this one here, on submit. I will have an on submit, and you can console.log this dot sign up form. That's it. Now let's try to see the output. Running. Yeah, it's running. Now if I try to see the output, if we go to the console, now this is a reactive form, we need to understand. If I try to add some data here, if I click on add, so we are able to get a form group, ng form. This is ng form. We have discussed about the ng form, right? Like that only you will get. And here if you try to see the same object, we are able to get it. And here the value. So the values, what I have written the values, we are able to get those values. So this is the basic reactive forms design. So all the logic what we have did, so we are trying to write it in the PS file. Just we are attaching the form controls and form group to which form we need to add it. So here the form group, and inside this form group, what are the elements, form control elements I need to attach. So this one is need to be attached to the email, and this is attached to the email. So we need to tell it, right? So what I can say, the form group cannot assume that okay, name is matching, so I need to match the name. So it will not think. So if you want, you can also add it as an email, and also you can add it as a name, so this one will be attached to the email like that. So we need to tell each one. So this form control belongs to this one. This form control will belongs to this one. So like that. So then you will get a values. So this is the first design of this form control. Now what I want to do is how we can write the validations for this one. Okay, now how we can write the validations for this one. So in order to write the validations for this one, so here for this name I want to write a validations. So here it will take a second value. For example, so why I have mentioned here empty is I want to pre-populate some value. So here when the form reloads, I want to pre-populate the value leela@leela.com. Okay, now if I try to see, the form automatically will be repopulated with Leela and leela@leela.com. See, so the default values, if you want to see, give the default values, you will try to give it here. First time I don't want the default value, so that is the reason I am giving it as empty, so that the form will be empty. And the second parameter it will take is the validations. Okay, the second parameter it will take the validations. It will be an array. Okay, array means the multiple validations you can give it. And here first one is the required field. Let's assume that we have a required field. So here validators dot required. Okay, validators should be imported from the Angular forms. Okay, so dot, you will be having so many things. So here email, max length, min length, pattern, required field, required true. So many, we are having so many validators. So you can use something like required field. Okay, so you can have a required field. And also here validators dot required, so it is also required, and also validators dot email. That's it. So these are the this is how we will be writing the validations. Now if you try to see the output, if I try to click add, we are able to get a form group. And if you try to see at the top, valid will be always false. Why? Because now we have some validations attached to this name and email. So we need to make these validations true. If you go to the email and if you go here you will be able to see errors required of true. So here we are saying that it should be a required of true. Now here if you go to the another controls name, and here it is saying required of true. Okay, so then now we are able to get a errors. Now let's try to display the errors. How we can display the errors? So here I can write span, please enter name, and here we will try to write span, please enter email. Okay, now here I can write something like ng if, okay, if condition, when sign up form dot get of name is that control. So you need to use it like this, dot get of name dot touch, if it is touched, and sign up form dot get of name dot valid. Okay, if it is not valid, then only show this please enter name. So this is the condition we are writing. Now if you try to see here, what is the problem it is telling? Dot touched, dot controls, I think. No, dot get of name. Let's try to see it. Let's see. So we make it as an optional thing. Yeah, so we don't have anything. So if I try to move here, see, we are able to get please enter name. If I try enter something, it will go away. And the same scenario, what is the thing I have written? Okay, here we didn't write anything, right? So now I can take this one and I can write a condition here. So this time this is an email, so this name should match here. Okay, dot get of email dot touched and also dot email dot valid. Now if I try to take it, now if I try to write something here, so you will be able to get if I try to go away, so you will be able to get enter name. If I try to go away, so you will get please enter email. So here if you try to write, here you will get like this. Now if you want to write accordingly custom messages and something like that means, so for example you can have a div element here. Okay, so you can have a div element here. Wait, so this is a div element, and you can remove this one. So when this one is touched, ng if, so when this one is touched, then enter into this one. So now here dot errors dot required. Okay, if required is there, so get of errors required is there, then show please enter email. So the same thing. Okay, let's try to make it as a div, small div. So now, okay, otherwise we can make it a span only, not a problem. Now you can, if you want another condition, so here requires dot email, then please enter valid email. So you can write different conditions here. Now if I try to go into this one, okay, so these things will be an option. So sometimes it may be present, it might be present, right? So you need to mention a question mark here. Optional thing. When it is present only, show it, we are saying. So it is telling that it is not there. Okay, let's try to make it like this. So if you write in the template, these type of issues will come. So like this, you'll try to use it. Okay, now maybe this one will work. Yeah. Now here if I come outside, so it is telling please enter email. Yes, I did, and I haven't entered any email. It is telling that email should not be empty. Anything, whatever the name you want, you can write it. Now if I try to enter here, it is telling that now you have entered something, but it is not a valid email. So according to the content what the user has entered, so you can give whatever the information you want it. Okay, so like this we can write it, the conditions. Now if you try to see here the template thing, so now if you try to write these all validations and all those things, it is looking somewhat weird, right? So now here the conditions and all those things are like looking somewhat weird. So if you want, you can also remove this all code. You can convert this one into the TypeScript logic also. You can write it. For example, let's say that I can write ng if email error. So I want to show email error if it is present. So I can write it something like email error. Now we can create a getter function for this one. Let's go into this reactive form. I can have a email error. So this is a getter function. So these all things we have learned, the getter functions. Now here let's try to have let email is equal to empty. So first time it is empty. So the error email message, okay, the error message what I want to show, it is empty. So now if you want to check if this dot sign up form, okay, dot get off name dot touched, okay, if it is touched, so this can be empty or sometimes like that. So you need to mention a question mark here. So if it is touched, then let's check that if this dot, or otherwise you can all take this one at a time, and you can take let email control is equal to like this. You can take it so that there is no need for us to write all the time. Email control dot touch, then if email control dot errors, right? Sorry, errors dot required, if it is a required. So you can mention question mark here. Same thing what we have seen it, right, previously. So you can mention a question mark. So here you will be having, so these are required fields, these are validations which will be coming dynamic. So that is the reason we need to mention it like this. So if it is present, then you need to email message. So these are logic I am writing it here. Please enter email should not be empty or something like this. Email should not be empty. So if you are having multiple conditions, you can write it like this, or else you can write another if, and same thing you can take it, and here you can write if it is an email. So whatever the messages, so here you will be having, so you'll be able to see in that object. I have already shown you in the controls object, it is there. So email control. Now you can write email please enter email should be valid, whatever the thing you want, you can write it here, and you can return at the last, return email message. That's it. So whatever the logic I am writing in the template side, I have removed that all template logic. So I have just mentioned it here only the variable name, and the entire logic I have moved it to the TypeScript logic. So this looks linear. So whenever you want to change it, you can change it here. Multiple conditions, if you want to write the validation messages, you can write for each element like this. Now let's go into this one. Let's see whether we can able to see the output or not. Now if I try to see here, it's gone. What has happened? Let's try to see it. Yeah. So what is the problem here? We got it. So get email error, and here we have mentioned ng if email error. So we are having this email error. Fine. Let's go into this reactive forms. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So we need to mention it like this. So email. Yeah. Now if I try to see, so we need we are able to get email should not be empty. Now if I try to write something, email should be valid. See, the same thing we are able to achieve it use by moving this entire validation logic to the TypeScript file. Now here the templates look very leaner, right? Now you can also move this one, same thing, get a name error, you can mention a getter message like that, you can move that one to the TypeScript logic. If you are having only simple message, only single message you are having miss, you can write it in the template. But email thing, if you want to show the complex messages and according to the user input you want to change the input validation messages and all those things means, so you can move that logic to the here like this. Okay, now here you whatever the messages you want you can change, and whatever the things you want for this one you can change. So this is all about the reactive forms. Okay, we have also written the messages. Now on submit, if you want to get the values, this dot sign up form dot value. Okay, so here you'll be having this dot sign up form dot value. Here if I try to show you, if I try to click, so here I'm able to get the values what I have entered it. So you can take these values and you can do whatever you want. Now what is the difference between this reactive forms and the sign up forms? Okay, so we also have another implementation. So all the time when you try to see in the internet or anything, when you want to find it, so there will be another concept that is nothing but a form builder. Okay, form builder, you'll be able to see it. The form builder and the form group concept is one and the same. It provides us something like a syntax less. Okay, the syntax, whatever the syntax we are trying to write it here, new form group, new form control, like this we are trying to write it, right? This will decrease the syntax thing. So I will show you how we can write the same thing using a form builder. Now here we are having this constructor, right? We need to inject the form builder. Okay, form builder is of type form builder. Okay, let's import this form builder. So normally you'll be having, all the people will be having this FB. They will try to make it as a simple name FB. That means nothing but a form builder. Whatever the name you want, you can give it. So form builder should be imported from the Angular forms. Now when you imported this form builder, so what will happen is, so here you can remove this form group and you can write this dot fb dot group. Okay, so this dot fb dot group, that's it. Now here what I can do is, so there is no need to mention these all the things, you can remove these all the things. Okay, this is simply an array, and here you will be having an first value is an value which you need to give, and this one is an array. Okay, that's it. Now this email also, there is no need to mention it's a new form control, you can take it as an array. First one is the default value and the second one is validators dot required. So whichever is convenient for you, you can write it. So whether you want to write it in the form builder, you can write it. So if you want a form group also, you write it. Both are valid one only. This form group, form builder also, behind the scenes it will convert it into the new form group, these all things. Now without writing those all new form control like this, so we have mentioned it as a simple array. In the behind the scenes it will convert it. Now if you try to see the output, the same output you will be able to get it. Okay, so if I try to press enter, you are able to get the same output without any problem. So this is the form builder thing. If you want, you can also use the form group also. Now the main advantages of this reactive form is, so the main advantage of this one is, so there are so many advantages are there. If you want, you can also write the custom validators. That is also very easy only. So like how you will be writing this get, so you can create another name and you can create a method and you can return true or false like that. Now another thing what I want to tell you is, the main thing, so which I want to tell you is creating a dynamic forms. Okay, creating a dynamic forms is done only through the reactive forms. So that is the main thing we need to understand it. So I will try to tell you one concept. For example, let's say that, so that is the main thing. So with template driven form we cannot achieve that one. Let's say we are having a button. Okay, add hobby. So I am having a add hobby. This is a button, and here you will be having class btn primary or anything which we are having. Now here the user is having a button add hobby, and now when he clicks on this add button, so we need to get an input box and he can write the hobby, and if he clicks on again, he need to get another input box so that he can write enter anything. So he can write a multiple hobbies. So upon clicking on this one, new input box will come so that he can write whatever he wants. So this cannot be achieved with the template driven forms, whereas in the reactive forms we can achieve it. So how we can achieve it? So those are all react forms, right? So here you can have hobbies. Okay, so new one you are getting introduced, new element, that is hobbies. So now this one is an form array. Okay, so you need to write this dot fb dot array. Okay, so this is an form array, and here you can write first time it is an empty. Okay, so this is an array. Why? Because you are having multiple hobbies, so this is an array. Or otherwise, if you in form builder also you can do it like this, or in what I can say, in that one you will be having new form array of, and inside that one you will be having a form control. So let's say that if you want to implement the same thing, here you will be having a new form group. I will try to write it, and here you will be having new form control, like this you need to write, and here you need to write, so that I can show you the both the differences. And here you need to write new form control, right? And here you need to write like this, and this one should be like this, and here this one is new form control. Oh, hobbies, right? This is something like, this is a hobby, so we know that these are dynamic elements. So here you need to write new form array. Okay, array of, in this one you will be having again an object, and you will mention it as an, it is an array, so you will mention it like that only. So now here this is the representation, and this representation is one and the same only. Let's try to make it comment out. Okay, so that you can be, I will add it here also. Now new form array, here in the form builder you will be mentioning it like this dot form array. Now first time it is an empty. Now we need to click on that one. So now here when the user clicks on this add hobby, we need to add a new hobby. Let's try to add on click on add hobby. Okay, I am using on add hobby. On add hobby, I am going here, I will be using on add hobby. Here I will be having, so what I need to do, I need to add a new input box. Okay, I need to add a new input box, something like form control. So what I can do is, so you can take this one, this dot, so which one I need to put in the sign up form, this dot sign up form dot get of hobbies. Okay, I want to get this hobbies. Hey, what is this I'm writing? Hobbies dot push. You will be having a method dot push. Here you need to push, so here you will be getting it as, so you need to tell this one as very slow my system is, I don't know, not able to identify. I am thinking of to show you, but this one is in such a way that it is also not able to identify what is the thing this guy is going to write. So now here you can have a method dot push. I am pushing a output, so here I need to push a new control, this dot fb dot control. Okay, so new control I am pushing, which is a value of empty. Now here it is not able to identify. I know this hobbies will be a form control, but you are pushing something, so this should be an array, something like that it is mentioning. So we need to typecast it. Now we know that this is a form array, so think this one as a form array, don't think it is a form control. That's it. Now let's try to click on this one. So when I try to click on this add hobby, okay, we are not able to get anything, but somehow we are not getting any error also. Okay, we are having, see here, hobbies like this array empty values we are able to get, but here we are not able to see the input boxes. Now we need to show the input boxes. How we can show the input boxes is, so here let's go into this and on add hobby, and here you will be having dot my-3, and here what I can do, I will loop over the hobbies ng for, okay, hobby dot sign up form dot get of hobbies dot controls. You need to use like this dot controls. So maybe you will be getting so much of confused, but stay with me so you will understand it. If you practice only you will get it. So now here I can write input type is equal to text. You can add class form control. Hey, what is happening here? Form control. And what I want to do is, so here you need to add a form control name, and for this one what I can do is, so here we need to add let I is equal to index. So we need to add a unique identifier, right? So I am taking the I value, and here I can add an I value here. So we are using a property binding, so we need to use the square brackets. Why? Because this I should be dynamic. So now these are all form array names, and I need to mention that this belongs to a form array. So here we need to add form array name is equal to hobbies. We need to mention it, this one. That's it. Now if you try to see the output, what is the error we have written? Sing up form. Oh, sorry, sign up form. Okay. Now let's go into this one. Let it refresh. Why it is not refreshing? Okay, so hobbies.controls, it is not existing, so you can mention it like this, so that maybe we can get the output. Why it is telling dot controls? Okay, so in the template this type of problems will be there. Normally we should get it from there only. So like this we need to keep it. Happens. So this is the reactive forms only. What is the problem here? Again it's saying sign up form dot get off hobbies prevented element has implemented because controls cannot be used in text type. Okay, let's try to do it one thing. Hobbies control, let's try to use this one getter thing. So let's go to the SAP component. So we can do so many ways we can do it. Get hobbies control, we'll have a variable get hobbies control. So we can have a getter, and we will return what will happen. So now it will try to do it. This dot sign up form dot controls. Okay, so what it is thinking was or otherwise we can write as form array. I can mention it like this. So I am writing this one as a form array. So this we need to do it as a typecasting thing. And now here I can use dot controls. So now this one, no nothing, no problems will come. See, this is how we need to mention. So the template thing cannot able to understand that you are using controls, but I don't know what is this one. It is having an any type, implicitly any type it was there. So try to mention something. So now here I am moving here to this one and telling that as a form array. So if you want, you can copy this entire thing and you can paste it there. Then also it will work. But the template will look somewhat dirty. So that is the reason I'm trying to. Now here, let's see, now it will look somewhat cleaner. So all the time we'll be writing like this only. But I am trying to show you the template side, but which is getting failed. So here, let's try to click on hobby. See, now I am able to click on this one. Okay. So this one is a button input. Where is this button? Where is this button? Yeah, here let's try to make it as a button. Default one button is a submit thing, right? It is trying to submit the form directly. Yeah. Now let's try to add a hobby. Okay. So now I am able to, I will add the hobby. So I am cricket. I want to add another hobby. Okay. Click on that one. So now I want sports. So I want to add another hobby. Okay. I can add it. So these type of things you can do it using the React forms. Cooking. So another habit. So I want to tell swimming. So enough for me. So you can also do the minus. You can do the minus thing, so that if I click on this one, so you can remove that particular form. So you can do that one. Push and pop. So what we are trying to do here, we are trying to push the form control. Okay, we are trying to push that one. So you need to remove that one. So array playing only, you need to remove that form control. So like this you need to play. Now if I try to write some data, and if I try to write, so we are getting email valid and all those things. Now if I try to write the data, and if I click on the add, see, now I am able to get the data hobbies. See, whatever the hobbies I have written as an array, I am able to get all the data, cricket, sports and all those things. Now I can send it to the backend. So this is how you can do the dynamic creation of this dynamic form controls using the reactive forms, can be done using the form array. Okay, so this is using this form array. What I have did, so whatever the thing you want that one as a dynamic one, you need to mention that form array name, and the name there is nothing but here you will be getting it from the hobbies here, this name. And here you will be looping over each hobby controls. That is nothing but we are pushing it here. Sign up form dot get of hobbies, like that we are pushing. And here we are pushing each one, and we are having add index. So index form control was 0, 1, 2, 3. Like that I want to add a name for this one. So I am adding the name for this one. Now here you like this you can make it. So this is how we are making we will be doing the dynamic forms, and this is all common. You already understood about this one. Okay, form controls and all the things you want to show. This is all about the reactive forms. So the dynamic creation of the dynamic forms and all some concepts are also there, custom validations, those all things. If you understand the core concept, these all things, you can do it, those all things also very easily.